I found a love for me. Well, darling, just dive right in and follow my lead. Well, I found a girl, beautiful and sweet. Well, I never knew you were the someone waiting for me. 'Cause we were just kids when we fell in love, not knowing what it was. I will not give you up this time. Well, darling, just kiss me slow. Your heart is all I own, and in your eyes you're holding mine. Baby, I'm dancing in the dark with you between my arms, barefoot on the grass. We're listening to our favorite song. When you said you looked a mess, I whispered underneath my breath, but you heard it. Darling, you look perfect tonight. Well, I found a woman stronger than anyone I know. She shares my dreams. I hope that someday I'll share her home. I found a love to carry more than just my secrets, to carry love, to carry children of our own. We are still kids, but we're so in love, fighting against all odds. I know we'll be alright this time. Darling, just hold my hand, be my girl, I'll be your man. I see my future in your eyes. Baby, I'm dancing in the dark with you between my arms, barefoot on the grass, listening to our favorite song. When I saw you in that dress, looking so beautiful, I don't deserve this. Darling, you look perfect tonight. No, no, no. Baby, I'm dancing.
Round of applause for David Berlin and Allison Fortin. Let's hear it for Nick Trumpler and Allie Sullivan. All right, Mike Rindani and Ashley Stewart, I didn't forget you. Come on, don't get weak of me. Let's hear some noise. How about, let's hear for Joe Bart and Judy Cajun. Oh, yeah. How about a round of applause for Tom and Heather Stanley? What happened here? You guys messed me up. All right, how about a round of applause for Jonathan and Michael Mascalco and Olivia Nunez. All right, let's hear it for our maid of honor and best man, Corey Perkins and Tyler Siemens. course. Let's give a biggest round of applause for our bride and groom. Are you ready? Mr. and Mrs. Michael and Leigh Michael. Something like a fairy tale castle is today, so it should be no surprise. Round of applause for Jaden, everyone. As you may know, it's typically customary of the father of the bride to give a speech at this point in the celebration. As you may or may not know, the bride's father would be an absolute emotional train wreck within seconds of beginning to attempt this speech. And so, in a rare showing of good judgment, he decided to recuse himself, and therefore I, the brother of the bride, was bestowed the great honor of standing before all of you tonight to make up for my dad's emotional shortcomings. And so I'll begin by giving you all some history about Leigh and also some nuggets on how she has always differed a bit from me and the rest of my family. The first thing you need to know about Leigh is I've never been entirely sure that she's actually my sister and wasn't swapped at birth. I mean, where the hell did that hair come from? Blonde hair? To this day, no one's been able to figure out where that came from. Beyond that, Leigh and I have always had opposing views on what is crazy or abnormal behavior. For example, when she found out that I was going to live with a few random people in Sicily for a week while studying abroad, I believe she told my parents that I was totally nuts and couldn't imagine how I could possibly do something like that. A few years later, I found out she was going to plunge herself off a bridge in Australia by bungee jumping a few hundred years towards the abyss. And all I could think of, oh my God, what a lunatic she is. Well, on this note, I should mention that Leigh's always been a top-notch athlete, and unlike me, actually enjoyed most of the sports she ever participated in. In fact, I think she knew how to tumble before she could ever walk, and rumor has it is, she even performed a somersault right at birth. Once she matured to the ripe old age of 2, she began her gymnastics career, followed by field hockey and track in junior high and high school. In fact, Leigh was so good at hurdles that the track coach stupidly decided to assume that it must run in the family, and he made me try it out the next season. That was a failure. Leigh's final act was to become a cheerleader in college for her beloved Boston College Eagles. Of course, in classically fashion, she wasn't satisfied with just being a cheerleader. She had to be the cheerleader doing triple, quadruple, double back handsprings all across the field left and right. Another point of difference between Leigh and perhaps the whole family is her taste in music, or lack thereof. Throughout our childhood, our father tried his best to instill a passion for the great music of the 60s and all his kids. Leigh and I's brother, John, is well known to have fallen the closest to the tree in this regard, as I'm sure you'll all find out when you see him on the dance floor later tonight. I also like to think I've taken an appreciation for my dad's passion for good music, though he would disagree when it comes to any music I like which came after 1975. And then there's Leigh. Not only is she the only weirdo in the family to have ever taken a liking to country music, but to this day I think the only album she ever purchased was Lou Bega's Mambo No. 5, and that was back in the 2nd grade. Finally, Leigh has always been different from me in that she is exceptionally creative, and I have not one creative bone in my body, at least in the visual sense. Unfortunately, as much as I was unable to think of how to make fun of her for this one. So instead, I'll explain how Leigh's creative passions have developed over the years and how they've led to each of you all being here today. Leigh's always had a passion for art, to the point where she used to have a plethora of paint and arts and craft supplies in our basement, which never allowed anyone to actually use that space for anything else. Leigh's passion for art even once led her to leave a few crayons to melt in a rental car seat during a 100-degree day in Florida. Believe it or not, Leigh's creative pursuits eventually led to pursue a degree in geology. Not for the reasons normal people would go into geology, like to make big bucks in the oil business or to determine when Vesuvius might next erupt. Leigh's goal was to learn about shiny gems and metals. Ultimately, it was this passion for creating something pretty out of shiny rocks that led Leigh into the jewelry business. And this, in turn, ultimately led her to meet Mikey, which has led to this occasion we are all here to celebrate tonight. And so, in trying to keep from rambling on too much, I just wanted to say, Leigh, I love you, as does your whole family, and especially your father. Your father, who loves you so much so, that he would have been incapable of being able to get up here and say it in front of everyone today. I also want to welcome Mikey to the family and thank him, not just for how good he's been to Leigh over the last few years, and the happiness I know he'll bring her going forward, but also for being perhaps the one person willing to put in the effort to become the first priority in Leigh's life, finally winning out over her 2 cats. Sorry, Elvis and Priscilla, this is a sad day for you. So, with that, cheers guys, and